1. The city library was a sanctuary of amber light and the scent of aging paper. Haley pulled a heavy, linen-bound volume from a bottom shelf, its spine unlabeled and worn. As she opened it, a folded piece of parchment fluttered to the floor. Harmony knelt to retrieve it, her fingers brushing against a map that felt older than the library itself. The ink was a deep, faded sepia, tracing a landscape that shouldn't have existed. 2. They compared the parchment to the modern topographical charts on Haley's tablet. Between two jagged mountain ranges where the satellite photos showed only gray rock and mist. The old map depicted a lush, teardrop-shaped basin. It was marked with a single, elegant word, remember. Harmony looked at her sister, her expression calm, but her eyes wide with a quiet realization. The valley wasn't lost. It had been erased. 3. The journey took 3 days of climbing through thinning air and silent forests. When they finally crested the final ridge, the wind died down, replaced by a sudden, heavy stillness. Below them lay the valley from the map, a sea of vibrant, impossible green tucked away from the world. It didn't look like a wild forest. It looked like a garden that had been tended by 1,000 invisible hands. 4. As they descended, Haley noticed the silence was different here. It wasn't the silence of a tomb, but the silence of a library, a space held for thinking. She reached out to touch a low stone wall. It wasn't crumbled or shattered. It was smooth, built with a precision that bypassed the need for mortar. The stones felt warm under her palm, as if they had been soaking up the sun for centuries, waiting for a guest. 5. Harmony wandered into what appeared to be a central plaza. There were no statues of kings or monuments to old victories. Instead, there were stone benches arranged in circles and shallow basins for water that still caught the rain. She sat on a curved seat, feeling a profound sense of peace. This wasn't a civilization that had been conquered. It was a place where people had simply chosen to be still. 6. In the center of the plaza stood a massive pillar of dark, polished basalt. Haley traced the symbols carved into its surface. Not letters, but a series of overlapping circles and lines representing the passage of time and the cycles of the moon. They weren't counting the years of their reign, Haley whispered, her eyes scanning the intricate patterns. They were tracking the patience of the earth. 7. They explored the ruins further, finding houses with wide windows and rooms that felt like they were designed for long conversations. Haley noticed that the paths were made of soft pebbles that didn't hurt the feet. There were no armories, no high walls for defense. The people who lived here hadn't been afraid of the outside world. They had simply decided they didn't need what it was selling. 8. Near the edge of a crystal-clear stream, Harmony found a final inscription on a flat slate tablet. It was written in a script that seemed to translate itself in her mind as she looked at it. It read, "We stayed so you could grow. We watched so you could learn. We left so you could find." The message wasn't a goodbye. It was a gift of space. 9. Following the direction the tablet pointed, they found a heavy wooden door set into the hillside, preserved by a strange, fragrant resin. Behind it lay a chamber filled with scrolls and tablets made of fired clay. It was a library of the ancients, containing observations of the stars, the movements of the tides, and the secrets of the soil. Haley and Harmony realized they hadn't just found a ruin. They had found a manual for a better way to live. 10. As dusk settled over the valley, the air turned a soft violet. The twins sat at the ridge one last time, looking back at the remembered valley. It felt as if the land itself was exhaling, its long wait finally over. They carried the first of the scrolls in their packs, ready to bring the patience of the old world into the chaos of the new. The valley would wait, but they would no longer be the only ones who remembered.